Okay, so if you've ever looked around at typical gym and thought, is this really making me healthier or just better looking in a mirror? Well, you are definitely not alone. Welcome to this explainer of Dr. Dana Marduk's game-changing 20-chapter book, The Power of Longevity, to live younger and longer. Today, we're unpacking a massive paradigm shift. We are talking about moving totally away from just short-term aesthetics and locking in on what really matters: cellular longevity and absolute physical autonomy. To do that, we've got a really clear roadmap today, broken down into four parts. First, the evolution of human movement. Second, the longevity ecosystem foundations. Third, the 10 pillars of physical autonomy. And finally, the future of global wellness. All right, let's jump straight into part one, the evolution of human movement. We really need to understand how we got so completely disconnected from our original biological design. Chapter 1 lays out this wild timeline. I mean, think about it. We started with this ancestral engine. Back then, high output movement literally meant survival, hunting, gathering, constant migration. And the crazy thing, our genetics are actually still wired for that exact same level of output. Fast forward to the early modern era, and you start seeing formalized physical culture and early sports. But then we hit present day. Dr. Marduk calls this the modern sickness. It's this state of chronic hypokinetic disease, which basically just means being sick from not moving enough. We've quite literally engineered movement right out of our daily lives, trading in hunting and gathering for desk chairs and food delivery apps. And this leads us perfectly into the core argument of chapters 2 and 3. It's this huge clash between the broken promises of commercial gyms and actual metabolic health. On one side, you have what's called the aesthetic trap. These are your standard mirror culture gyms, super focused on vanity, running people through generic cardio, and dealing with massive, massive dropout rates. But on the other side, true longevity. This is a total mental shift. It's not just about extending your calendar years, your lifespan, but really optimizing your health span. It's treating structured movement strictly as medicine. Because let's be real, looking fit on the outside doesn't automatically mean you're biologically young on the inside. The science is pretty clear on that. So, in Chapter 3, the book pinpoints the exact cellular enemies we're going up against. There are four main biomarkers of aging here. First up is cellular senescence. Think of these as zombie cells. They stop dividing, but they refuse to die, just cluttering up your system. Then mitochondrial decline, where our cellular power plants just kind of lose their juice. Third is inflammaging, which is this chronic low-grade inflammation that slowly wears down our tissues over time. And finally, metabolic dysfunction. Now, the crucial takeaway here is that longevity medicine can't just exist in a vacuum. It absolutely requires deliberate, structured physical training to directly fight these four specific biomarkers. Wrapping up this first section in Chapter 4, Dr. Marduk introduces the big solution: LonGymity. It is the ultimate convergence. We're talking about fusing hardcore evidence-based longevity science with the absolute grit of a high-performance gym. The idea is to move completely away from those traditional sweat and leave health clubs. Instead, you step into these luxury ecosystems built for the ultra-long haul, where your workouts are actually prescribed based on your specific blood work and biometrics. Which brings us nicely to part 2, the longevity ecosystem foundations. Let's see how this whole philosophy actually translates into a premium, day-to-day lifestyle. The golden rule in Chapter 5 is incredibly straightforward. No data, no training. It makes total sense, right? You absolutely cannot prescribe movement as medicine without getting a baseline diagnosis first. You need concrete data on your VO2 max, your body composition, your genetics, and your true biological age before you ever touch a dumbbell or hit the treadmill. Chapters 5 through 8 take us on a complete journey through the ecosystem's foundations. It kicks off with diagnostics and intelligent workouts. Then it folds in VIP regeneration, using futuristic tools like cryotherapy and hyperbaric oxygen therapy, literally using pressurized oxygen to accelerate your cellular repair. From there, it's into circadian and sleep optimization, and then metabolic fueling, where you're tracking blood sugar in real time with continuous glucose monitors and using strategic fasting. And the best part? All of this data gets fed into an automated biohacker's AI dashboard. Plus, it's all backed by an elite longevity community because, as we know, you push way harder when you're surrounded by people dedicated to that exact same high-performance mindset. All right, moving right along to part 3, 10 pillars of physical autonomy. This is basically the core training manual of the whole book. So across chapters 9 through 18, the book details exactly 10 pillars of physical autonomy. And I want you to look at these not just as, workouts, but as critical anti-aging weapons.
They are designed to give you total physical freedom. We're talking about the freedom to hike in your 80s, to play with your grandkids without your joints aching, and to just never, ever lose your physical independence.
The book breaks these 10 pillars down into 3 beautiful categories. Under Strength and Power, we learn how heavy resistance training actively fights sarcopenia, that debilitating age-related muscle wasting. It also targets explosiveness, because honestly, power leaves the aging body way faster than raw strength does. Then, under Cardio and Mobility, the focus is on building a massive Zone 2 endurance engine. That means working at a steady, conversational pace so your body learns to burn fat efficiently, while using yoga and joint work to keep your fascia elastic. Finally, in Neuro and Recovery, it integrates dual task training. This is super cool. It's doing cognitive and physical tasks at the exact same time to trigger massive neurogenesis and actually protect your brain from cognitive decline. Let me give you one of my absolute favorite examples from Chapter 14. Pillar 6 is all about building functional hypertrophy. The goal here is to turn your muscles into what Dr. Marduk calls a metabolic sink. Basically, this is highly capillarized, highly usable muscle tissue that literally acts as a shield for your joints against chronic wear and tear, and serves as a massive reservoir for your metabolic health. It's not about building muscle for the mirror. You are quite literally engineering protective armor for the rest of your life.
And finally, Part 4. The future of global wellness. Let's look ahead and see how this whole paradigm is set to scale around the world.
Chapter 19 paints this picture of a future driven by symbiotic tech. Just imagine this. You walk into a smart gym, and embedded wearables and predictive AI instantly know it's you. If your AI dashboard notices you barely gotten any deep sleep the night before, the equipment automatically lowers your resistance and shifts you into a specialized recovery protocol based on your real-time biomarkers. Your entire environment dynamically adapts to exactly what your body needs that day. It's like living in a sci-fi movie, but it's real.
And how do they plan to build this everywhere? Chapter 20 reveals the asset-light EXO model. EXO meaning exponential organization. It is a brilliant business strategy to scale up without dropping millions on new real estate. Step 1, partner with 5-star hotels and luxury resorts to use their existing underutilized spaces. Step 2, drop the complete LonGymity biological reset ecosystem right into those spaces. And Step 3, connect traveling members using a unified cloud-backed AI health passport. So your biometrics, your history, your training dashboard, it all follows you seamlessly from your local gym straight to a resort in the Maldives. It's a genius way to spread this longevity science globally and do it fast.
So as we wrap up this explainer, we're left with a really inspiring challenge to reclaim our physical autonomy so that as we age in wisdom, we're also thriving in biological youth. Maintaining total cognitive and physical sovereignty is the ultimate goal here, which leaves us with one final question to think about. If you actually commit to this data-driven, holistic blueprint, will your wisest years also be your undeniably strongest?